Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. You know, I have taken a different strategy this year when it comes to how I spend my units. I spent about 12 to 15,000 units in the last 6 months before this shift on featured Cavalier crystals. Now, I kept saying if I didn't have a YouTube channel, if I wasn't using these units to produce additional content and hopefully give people something fun to watch, I would not be spending the units. But I just took a step back and thought, oh, okay. It sounds like I'm getting choked up, but really I just need to drink of water. Okay, for 12 to 15,000 units, I can get, if I'm showcasing on my channel responsibility, which I know is tough to do in this Marvel Casino Champions, but I can get so many 6-star Nexus crystals and 6-star 6 stones, and who knows, maybe 7-star shards by the time spring cleaning or July 4th comes out. Certainly a rank 3 to rank 4 rank up gem. I think that's a guarantee, particularly for Paragon players now, in any major holiday sale. And I was spending 12,000 to 15,000 units in a row to get 0 6 stars. This was a major, terrible thing in terms of like luck and happiness before, and I mean before the Paragon Daily Special was even a thing. I mean, now, if you compare Cavalier Nexus crystals to Mythic Nexus, and look, I know these are not apples to oranges because the Paragon Daily Special only has the basic pool, and obviously if you want, say, the new Viv Vision, your only option is this crystal. That is the genius of Kabam's sort of, well, I don't even want to say sort of, definitely Kabam's slow adjustment to switching to, say, featured Thronebreaker crystals. Cavalier crystals have been around long enough to where we just don't bat an eye to think that 0.3% for a new 6-star? 0.3%. Less than 1/3 of 1%. Yeah, that's fair. Sure. When, at least it should be, I'm not saying 3% though, compared to the Daily Special, definitely should be. But seriously, like, it should be buffed to at least 6%? But no, they can't even buff the new, I think Kabam would argue it's breaking the game to buff the new Cavalier Crystal to a 1% 6-star drop rate. And that's what makes this such a genius way to preview this. Because Kabam can say, we doubled the drop rates in our new crystals. And make that a huge deal. But then you look into it and it's like, oh, it went from 0.3 to 0.6. Still less than 1%. Is that a huge deal? No. Because Kabam still, of course, wants people to spend hundreds, if not thousands, of crystals worth of units. So I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to show off how I'm going to use my units. I'm going to pretend that 1,340 units, which is all the units I have above 50,000. Shout out to my mod Legacy, who always is obsessed with keeping my units at 50,000 or above, and she reminds me immediately when it falls under 50,000. It's kind of like a parent being like, your bank account's low. Anyhow, when I go to what is the rank up, I guess formerly known as the Catalyst store, you can get as many tier 1 alphas and tier 4 basics as you want without a purchase limit, but you can't do that for tier 5 basic. And so I like to get all 10 of these when I can. And then that leaves me with exactly 2 tier 2 alphas. Now what's interesting is, by doing that, I now have an imbalance of 9 tier 5 basics, more tier 5 basics than tier 2 alpha. But there's a method to my madness. Because I also have in my overflow hoarding, because I'm freaking crazy. Now I've built it up to over 5,000. And so I like to open these on occasion when I need more units. And so that is not a good start for units, by the way. Terrible start. There's 15. And look at that. Already 90 units from 30. All right, so I'm going to open these until I get to about 300. And I am so close to 300. There's 345. So now I'm going to hit continue. This is just how I operate. Go back to the Rank Up store and purchase an additional 5. And actually, we can purchase an additional 6. And that gives us 5 units left over. That's how I budget. Then, when I go to the inventory, now suddenly I've got 9 and 13. What do you know? So, that is my budgeting for these items. Completely changed how I spend units in 2023. Hopefully, that gives some people some idea of better guaranteed value.